Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, some good news finally from Gaza, and that is Israel and Hamas agreed on truce to free hostages. You're back? Okay, yes. Hello. Let's read this little article coming from WHIO-TV. It doesn't really matter because it's everywhere in the news. And as you can see in the title, Israel and Hamas agree on truce to free hostages in swap, raising hopes of halting war in Gaza. Now, that's not going to happen. The hopes of halting war is going to happen only when Israel achieves its goals in Gaza. After that, they will impose to whomever they want whatever they want, because somehow Gaza is I don't know, autonomous or something, but Israel can do whatever it wants, which is close the borders, open the borders of Gaza now, especially the ones in Egypt. But whatever, this is a situation we have to work with. So Jerusalem, Israel and Hamas agreed to a 4-day ceasefire in the war in Gaza. That won't happen. It's going to be a little bit, less bombardments and less shooting, but it's not going to be a ceasefire. That doesn't happen. A breakthrough that will facilitate the release of dozens of hostages held by militants, as well as Palestinians imprisoned by Israel, and bring a large influx of aid to the besieged territory, officials said Wednesday. Well, what are you seeing there? Well, the Hamas, no, don't step on that. Hamas will not release all the hostages, because once it releases all the hostages, Israel will probably close their eyes and do whatever they want to do. But who knows? Hamas will be destroyed by Israel. If it stops short of, if it's capable of doing that, obviously, if it's capable of doing it and it doesn't do it, then I don't know, there will be a defeat for Israel. Obviously, that's the way it's going to be perceived by everyone who has half of a brain at least. So it has to go all the way. So let's see. The truce raised hopes for eventual winding down the war, which was triggered by beep, beep, beep. Now, in its 7th week, the conflict has leveled vast swaths of Gaza, fueled surge of violence in the occupied West Bank, and stirred fears of a wider conflagration across the Middle East. The Persian Gulf nation of Qatar announced the deal, and Egypt's state-run Qahera TV channel said the truce would take effect at 10 a.m. local time, 8 GMT Thursday, so tomorrow. Both countries, along with the United States, helped mediate the deal between Israel and Hamas. This is just to continue propping U.S. legitimacy in the Middle East. I think they have no legitimacy. On the contrary, they should be kept away from there. Why? Because U.S. was involved in the Middle East, at least as a sole mediator, in the past 30 years. And you know what happened in the past 30 years. Better or worse? And if something happens as a crescendo, let's say October 7th, under whose watch? Who created the beautiful, quote-unquote, conditions for such an attack by Hamas? Who was in charge? I mean, and now you get the same guy who failed for 30 years, being the sole partner in the Middle East. You put him back in business. You try to build his legitimacy. He should be left out, but you can't left the United States out, because the United States is with Israel. So Israel is, I will tell you a story about how Israel and United States of America sometimes operate after I'm finishing reading this little article here. So it says 50 hostages will be freed in stages. Yeah, in exchange for the release of what Hamas said would be 150 Palestinian prisoners. Both sides will let go women and children first. That's great. You see this? I don't think you... Yeah, see this commercial right here? It says Chuck Norris. It keeps coming on my telephone whenever I scroll down. Chuck Norris in his 80s says this once a day for more energy. Well, and he has his hair and beard dyed. a blonde. Really? Okay. I like Chuck Norris, but here I think he's just how should I put it? Look, man, we all know you have white hair, white beard. Why do you try? Why do you pretend? I mean, you are a how to call it, an honorable guy, and I think you still are. But for money, what don't you do? Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel would resume the war after the truce and keep fighting until we achieve achieve all our goals, as I said, including the destruction of Hamas's fighting and governing abilities and the return of all hostages. Nothing short of that will say that you guys won, so they will do that if they can. And they can, if they really want, a button, bomb, and that's it. If that would be, they can surround the area, and then they can do what I think they did in Aleppo, and not only the Russians, or who did that. You just encircle the town, and you say, okay, civilians, get out. If you don't get out, you're gonna be starving in there. And wave water and food and all that. So the children, everybody will get out and say, who wants to fight, stay there. Who doesn't want to fight, get out. And you're gonna go where we tell you to go. Probably that's what's gonna happen. So there's no way for Hamas with their tunnels and so-called blah, 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 highways underneath the freeways, underneath the ground. It's not a garbage. But anyway, I'm not saying they're not tunnels, but not to the extent of this guys' evidence. Residents in Gaza City said that the fighting there intensified overnight into Wednesday. Well, of course they want. So let me tell you a little story about my my life. When I used to be in the Romanian karate Kyokushin national team, we had a president of the organization, and he was not well known. He was, I'm talking in the international arena, but he had he befriended the Hungarian president of Karate Kyokushin. His name was Furko Kalman, Shihan Furko Kalman. Very respected master. And this guy was always where Furko, the Hungarian, which was a very respected organization because it had good fighters, good karate school. They were fantastic. Still are, I think. This guy was always following Furko. So wherever the Shihan Furko was going in international meetings, this guy was like a puppy with him. Tick, 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 tick. So all the doors were open for the Romanian president. I'm not going to say more about that guy, because Furko was going, tick, 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 tick. Furko was going, tick, 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 tick. That's the way it was. So whenever, United States goes somewhere or Israel goes somewhere, then the other one takes the position of follower. When, is the case, that's how they do. So they're like intertwined. Our destiny is intertwined with the state of Israel somehow. But we're living in a free world with free people. So anyway, that's good news, excellent news, I would say. Things will just calm down a little bit for the next, 3-4 days, and then we'll get at it. Israel will not, how should I put it, lose this one. When I say will not lose, I told you they have all the, unless something bigger happens, which is a third world war, which would last not much, not long. Will last for a few days, maybe a week or two, until someone says, you know what, we're done with this garbage. You either stop, or we're gonna just use this kind of weapons. Now that could be Israel, could be Russia, could be Pakistan, could be not United States of America. United States of America will react if the follower, can you do this for me? Then they will probably discuss with the other side, hey, stop, let's the shit hit the fan. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.